everyone, my name is Brittany. Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I am going to do a chit chat, get ready with me, and first impressions of two new products that I will be trying out. The first one is this E.L.F. Poreless Putty Primer, and the second one is the L'Oreal Age Perfect Radiant Serum Foundation, which I'm super excited to try. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. My face has already been washed and moisturized and have sunscreen on. And so I'm going to start off with the E.L.F. Putty Primer. Just going to put that all over. The texture is good. There's no scent to it, which is also good. It's not as thick as I was expecting. Doesn't feel too oily. And I bought my primer off of Ulta. And I believe it was about $8.99, which is good for a primer. I need to put my hair back, excuse me. Okay, so the next step I'm going to do is I need to put a little bit of this correcting cream from E.L.F. Again, I just have some hormonal acne thanks to hormones. Covered. And I'm going to come and do the foundation. The color I got is number 10 in Ivory. So hopefully this is a good match. And I'm just using my beauty sponge by Real Techniques. Definitely smells like sunscreen, so I guess I didn't really need to put sunscreen on beforehand. And I also bought this from Ulta, and it was $15.99, and it looked like there was 14 different shade ranges on Ulta's website. It seems like it has pretty good coverage for being a serum foundation. Might be a little too light for me. I'm not too sure. Well, looks pretty good. Sorry if I'm looking down. I have a mirror over here as well. Just trying to make sure I get it all blended in. This does have a tiny bit of a scent to it, but not overpowering. And I was getting this to compare it to the IT Cosmetics CC cream, which is one of my favorites, especially during the summertime here in Arizona. It gets pretty hot, and that one seems to work well on my skin, and also it has sunscreen in it as well, so it stays on most of the day. So I was trying to see if this would be a drugstore dupe to the IT Cosmetics CC cream. Well, it looks pretty good. It blended nicely. Looks pretty good. It blended nicely. I think it might be a tad too light for my skin tone, but sometimes these oxidize and then it's too dark on my skin. So I'm going to wear it throughout the day and see if it oxidizes at all or changes on my skin. The next thing I'm going to go in with is some concealer, and I use the Tarte Tape Shape Concealer, and I am in the shade Fair Neutral. So for this, I'm going to do some underneath my eye, my eyelid, and I do a little bit here on my forehead, bridge of my nose, cupid's bow, and on my chin. Taking that same beauty sponge and just blending it out. And I really do like the Tarte Shape Tape. I have tried the E.L.F. concealer that is supposed to be a drugstore option compared to the Shape Tape, and it does also work really well. It is thick and creamy like the Tarte Shape Tape, but I always find myself reaching and going back for the Tarte Shape Tape concealer. Okay, so that looks blended. And now I'm going to go in with foundation. So under my eyes, I use the Maybelline Fit Me Loose Powder in shade 10, which is Fair Light. I like this under my eyes, but for my face, I use the Bare Minerals powder in shade Fairly Light, number 3. I don't like the way this sits under my eyes. It gets kind of cakey, so that's why I reach for the Maybelline Fit Me. It just goes under there nicer. So I'm going to take a little bit of that and just press. Another loose powder that I really do like from the drugstore is the Coty Airspun powder as well. The translucent one. Okay, so now that we've done the under eye, I'm going to reach again for the Bare Minerals loose powder. But I don't like to use the beauty sponge for this one. I like to use a face brush, and these are the brushes that I've been using that I love. BS Mall. I get them from Amazon. They are super cheap, but the quality is really, really good. I want to say they're about $10 for a set. So just put that in there. I like to just dab it on my face. I feel that it makes it look more natural and not as cakey. But I do like to swirl it and kind of blend into my neck. I think this foundation is looking really good. Okay. Next I'm going to go in with bronzer, and I use the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. It's one of my favorites, and it smells so good. Yeah, it smells like coconut. And the brush I'm using is a Luxie brush. I got it in an Ipsy bag forever ago, and I just love using it for the bronzer. So I go in below the cheekbone a little bit, both sides. And then I wrap it up on the sides and then along the hairline on the forehead. Just very lightly blend it all in. And then just a little bit along the jawline. I somewhat have a little bit of a double chin that I like to hide. Next, I'm going to go in with blush, and I use the Milani blush, and it's in shade 11, Blossom Time Rose, and this is one of my favorite blushes. It does have a sparkle to it, so you don't necessarily need a highlighter on top of the blush, but I do. And I am going in with the same brand blush, Be a Small, and this is the Face Flat Angled Brush. So that's what I used for my blush. And make that kissy face, silly face every time you put blush on. And I love blush. Blush is one of the things that I can't go without. Blush and mascara are my two must-haves. Now onto highlighter, which I also love. My favorite highlighter is the Anastasia Moonchild palette. Had it for a while, as you can see, it's pretty used. These two are my all-time favorite shades, this one more so, and it is Pink Heart. So I'm gonna go in, and for highlighter is Real Techniques, and it is a setting brush, but it's perfect for highlighter. So I'm just gonna take some of that Pink Heart from the Moonchild palette and place it right above. I like to be super glowy. And these shades in this palette are very pigmented. And I always do a little bit on the bridge and tip of my nose. And upper lip. And I go back in with my foundation brush, not putting any on, and I kind of just seal it all in. All right, now I'm going to set my face, and I use the Morphe setting mist. Shake it up. And let it dry. Okay, so I let that setting mist dry a little bit, and now we're on to eyebrows. And this is one of my weaknesses. I'm not very good at doing eyebrows. I'm still learning, but I'm going to just take a spoolie and run it through. And I use this L'Oreal micro ink pen, and this is something newer that I've been using, but I absolutely love it. I'm in the shade Blonde. So just It does stay pretty much all day, which is really great. Oh. So you're just filling in anywhere you need extra color. Like so. And again, I said I'm not very good with eyebrows, so I am going to put a little bit of Tarte Shape Tape on the back of my hand and go in with a concealer brush. I'm not really sure of the brand. And just clean up the areas. Other side. Okay. Now I'm going to go and do eyeshadow first, and I use the lovely Jaclyn Hill palette, which is my favorite, and I am going to go in with this shade all over my eyelid. For the first shade, for the all over lid color, I'm going to use this Real Techniques brush. It is a concealer brush, but I like to use it for eyeshadow. Tap off the excess. Now for this eyelid today, I'm not going to be doing anything crazy, just a little bit of color. I guess I play it pretty safe when it comes to doing eyeshadows. I haven't done anything too adventurous. I have a really hard time doing winged eyeliner, but that's definitely something I'm working on and hope to improve on. Alright, just make sure it's even. I'm going to move on to doing the outer corner of my eyelids, and I'm going to go in with this shade here, a little bit of a darker brown. The color is Central Park on the Jaclyn Hill palette. Tap off the excess. Just like that. Onto the next eye. I kind of like to start at the top and then the lid, sorry, the lash line, and then kind of bring it together and then blend it in. I'm going to take another brush that I got off Amazon, and I'm just going to blend. Okay, and for the brow bone, I'm going to go back into the Moonchild palette here, and I am going to use this shade, which is Lucky Clover. And for inner corner, I'm going to also use the Lucky Clover. Now onto mascara. I'm just going to curl my lashes. I just use a cheap little curler. Like so. And I don't know if you're like me, but I always use 2 mascaras. I think it might not be that common, but that's just what I've always done. The first one I'm going to use is the L'Oreal Voluminous Mascara. And then the second one, which is my all-time favorite, is the L'Oreal Lash Paradise Mascara. This one is my ultimate favorite. This one is a dupe for the Better Than Sex mascara by Too Faced. Start off just using a small layer of the first mascara, and then I go in with the second mascara. Like so. So that's how it looks with 2 different mascaras. And now I'm going to go and do my lips, which will be the final step of this short get ready with me. I'm going to go in with this lip liner here. I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce the name of it. I also got this in an Ipsy bag at some point. Next, after the lip liner, I'm going to go in with this Maybelline Super Stay Ink Crayon. These are one of my favorite lip products by Maybelline. This is the shade Keep It Fun, which is number 90. Now, I don't know if you're like me, even though it's matte, it dries matte, I love gloss. So I always put a little bit of gloss above pretty much anything I'm wearing on my lips. And this isn't not so much of a gloss, but it's the Ulta Beauty Lip Oil. It's juice infused lip oil. This stuff is so good. This is the tangerine one, but the rose one is my absolute favorite. So I'm just gonna go ahead and put a little bit of that on. Like that. Gonna fix my hair. So here we have the final makeup look. You zoom in. I'm really liking the foundation. I think it sits well on my face, as well as the primer. I still have these lines, which I'm trying to find a really good primer that can fill in those lines a little bit. But as far as my pores, they do look way better. So I'm just gonna wear this for the day, and hopefully the foundation doesn't oxidize and that the primer can hold the foundation on better than previous ones that I have tried. I really appreciate all of you guys taking your time and sitting with me during this makeup video. It is one of my first makeup videos here on my channel, and I promise it'll get better, and I promise I'll figure out a background situation very soon here. But I hope you all enjoyed this. I hope that you guys will give these makeup products a try. If you do, let me know down in the comments. And if you liked the video, please subscribe. And thanks again for taking your time to watch. Bye. So it's been a few hours after wearing the makeup, so I wanted to do a quick update. My face isn't normally this greasy. If I zoom in, you can see how oily it is. I have like combination skin. T-zone's pretty oily, but not this much. And I do wear glasses, so you can see how much it's rubbed off, which is pretty common. My chin is also pretty much rubbed off as well. So I don't know what's causing all of the oil. I don't know if it's the foundation or if it's the primer. I will try the foundation with a different primer that I have, Maybelline or Smashbox. And I'm going to try the primer with a different foundation. The Bare Mineral foundation that I have is probably going to be the one that I'm going to wear tomorrow with the primer. So we'll see what's kind of holding up here and what's not working for my skin. But overall, I love how the foundation looks on my skin when first applied. But I think it might just not work with my combination of oil and normal. But just wanted to update you. Bye.